Well, our producer, Pranav Pasana, behind the scenes, we call him the P-Man. He's made his way into the studio. Good to see you, Pranav.
Good to be here, Kitch. Good to be here with you, Neil, as well.
And we were discussing how incredible it is to have the Red Bull plane that landed on the helipad of the Burj Al Arab on his third attempt. He came down and he had about, 20 minutes, I think, to spare. And we were going through about those other events that happened. There was David Coulthard back in 2013, where he did the donuts for the F1 car. And then back in 2005, it was Andre Agassi and Roger Federer that were hitting some balls up there.
Yeah, Kitch, and incredible pictures coming out. Mind you, this was the year where, or in fact, this was a generation where there was no Instagram, there was no Twitter, there was no TikTok. So for that moment to be across all newspapers around the world, across all channels, radios discussing it, news televisions, news outlets discussing it, this was phenomenal for Dubai. And I had a chance to actually catch up with the Dubai duty-free tennis tournament director, Salah Talak, who was kind enough to share his experience and his story on how they actually brought this to life.
My idea was to make it exactly like a court, like a tennis court, to make it a court. So like make a like a green, similar as a real tennis court. And as much as you see, it's very small when you're looking at the Burj Al Arab from the bottom or from the outside. But it's like almost 2/3 of the tennis court. It's as big as that. It's huge, but it's very scary as well. It's like around 200 meters above the sea level. You see everything. While you're there, sometimes you feel the movement as well if it's a bit windy. And it took me 1.5 months to convince both Andre Agassi and Roger Federer. So everything, okay, which one, if he goes, I'm not sure which one of them they had like a phobia of the height. But at the end, I managed to have, to get them both on, and then to do this, and then we have done a recce one day, and it worked very well. So, yeah, and then we involved the Getty images to take a picture as well. So it went everywhere, worldwide. And back then, there was no social media, or it was just the beginning of the internet, and then pictures, and then we sent everything. So I remember I got a call following morning from the U.S. And back then, the president of the ATP was Mark Miles. He said, "Salah, you guys did a great job. You guys hit half of the planet." I said, "Wow, that's really great to hear that." He said, "Yeah, I said nobody did such a big PR, event, and it has an impact worldwide. And you guys did good for the tennis, for the Dubai, for the players themselves. It's amazing." So I think for us, it's a legacy, and it just costed us. I remember everything around $25,000, but the impact, and we did we wanted to find out how much would the impact if we would have done it and paid to the TVs, to newspapers, the magazine. It would have been $26.5 million. Yeah, in return, yes, really, and that was done by another advertising agency that found out that would have been the real cost of that. And then the following day, I remember His Excellency Mohammed Al-Gurgawi, Minister of the Cabinet and the Future, he said, "Let's take Agassi to His Highness Sheikh Mohammed." I said, "Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah." So then we took him to Sheikh Mohammed's special place in Al Saili, or his like ranch. So he met him. He was very happy to meet him, and then he said, "Yes, Your Highness, I know you're too busy, but how much time you have to see these things?" He said, "Yeah, I'm always busy. I'm always I know I'm busy, but also I never forget the sports in Dubai." And His Highness, he used to play tennis, and especially in month of Ramadan, he used to play that. So and that's why the whole tennis is under his patron.
So there was the interview that Salah Talak said, speaking to our producer Pranav Pasana in regards to the Burj Al Arab tennis moment back in 2005. Recapping that because we've been looking at some of the most iconic moments on the Burj Al Arab, given the Red Bull plane landed yesterday, and fascinating here back in 2005, pre-social media, the lengths you had to go to try and get traction because you couldn't control it on your socials and share it. It was the old way of you had a great news event and you had to rely on if the newspapers and the TV stations would go with the story.
Which is true, those days, the platforms dictated everything. Today, you have the platform in your hand and you create the content, well, then you're the king.
Yeah, that was it. So an incredible moment that happened in Dubai, which continues with that Red Bull plane yesterday. TSB, Talk Sport Business.